Yo, what's up, everyone? Happy Tuesday, February
What's going
18th.
on, listeners?
What up, CJ? The beat
What's going
god?
on, Eddie?
Chilling, man. You know me. You know how I do it.
My guy on the west side.
Hell yeah, West Coast, baby.
What
Cool. We got an
you been
exciting
up to
show.
this week, man?
What's up?
What you been up to this week, man?
You know me, man. Family, work. That's all I do.
Yes, sir.
I'm just a
Yes, sir. I
boring
know
old.
the feeling.
How about you, CJ?
Same here, man. Same here. Work, home, work, kids.
Yep, yep. Hey, man, it sounds like you're living the life.
Hey, man, it's the dream we all go for, man. Trying to keep this thing up above us, right there.
For real. For real. I'm just trying to
Yes, sir.
make the most of every day. You know what I mean? Keep pushing for my goals. Be happy. That's all
That's
you can
right.
do.
That's right. There he is. There's
Terrence,
big dog right there. What's going on, T?
we we got folks still joining. We got an
Hello.
exciting show for everybody. What's up, B?
How's it going?
Chilling. Chilling. How about you?
Doing all right. Preparing another cosplay per usual. Don't mind me if you see random paint flying along with boots and other things. That's just me doing what I do best.
I love that. All right, do your thing.
As long as it's all under control on your end, we good.
Oh yeah, I promise not to get paint on the camera nor on anybody else. So there we go.
All right, we good then. Cool. Well, you know, we keep it funky here. We got a great show for all of you guys today. We are going to be joined by Tony Cade from Georgia. I think Decatur,
All right.
Georgia, representing for sure. This guy's doing big things though, for real. He is just holding it down. He's pushing out comics. He's setting up expos, and man, he had like a pizza joint. Like, dude, this guy is just like, he's doing it all.
Oh yeah,
That's-
Tony Cade is one of the best, especially for one of the old heads. I will definitely say that.
I was gonna say, like, I'm here in Cali, and so I'm not like keen on what's going on, but he seems OG, man, for real.
Oh yeah, I love Tony Cade. I actually remember back when he had his shop, the Dragon's Horde. I know I'm like showing my age, but back in the Dragon's Horde, back in the 90s, when I used to frequent Tony's old store before
Yeah.
he even moved to North Lake for challenges, or once he ended up getting to North DeKalb, where he originally had the first expo that he should be coming on here, hopefully sooner or later, to talk about. I don't know where he is.
Yeah, he should be back here in a minute. He'll be on, and I think we go on at 30, so he's got some
All right.
time.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Dang, but he goes way back, huh?
Oh, yes. Tony has been in this for a while. Like, again, I remember being a teenager going to his store, the Dragon's Horde, back when it was over in that area of Stone Mountain bordering the quote unquote greater part of Decatur, Georgia.
Yeah. Cool. Well, shoot, I'm excited to get him on here.
Oh yeah. I love hearing about all the Tony's different experiences from the cons, like when he used to do photography for a lot of cons, because apparently that was the way you could get tickets when you were broke and a teenager and in your 20s and stuff. So yes, I love hearing his stories about that.
I love that. Hey, any way you can get in, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
That's right.
All right. So, you know, typically we like to kick things off and just really talk about some of the comic book news. I know last time we were talking about like tariffs, about Brave New World, some other stuff. You guys got anything?
That I will leave to Tony, because that is all him. I'm actually more on the video game side.
All right. Well, we could switch things up. Any cool, exciting video game news you're hyped about?
Actually, the as terrible as it sounds, because I loved Overwatch as much as I did, Marvel Rivals with the new patch with the Fantastic Four and the thing coming out. Yes, I'm stoked. I am excited. What can I say?
You know, I heard about that, and I'm too caught up in family and work, and I just can't find the time. But I swear, if I could find some time, I would hop on that game. That game looks sick. My son's been playing that. Rivals, right?
Yes, it's actually a lot of fun. I would definitely say anybody who missed old school Overwatch, absolutely. It is the replacement, as much as I hate to give conglomerate Disney these kind of props, but yes, it definitely lives up to classic legacy Overwatch. My husband and I play it all the time, so yes, I can actually say it Overwatch trying to fix what they wanted to do is absolutely too little, too late, and I'm sorry, Disney has taken it, and they are basically Kendrick Ewing dancing on your grave, bringing out all your exes to also dance on your proverbial grave. Like, I'm sorry.
Wow, no way.
Yeah.
Things change fast.
That's a big statement.
If you have ever played classic Overwatch and then you play Marvel Rivals, you will understand, because honestly, they alienated their fan base when they did away with classic Overwatch and then didn't give people the PvP that they had promised. And yeah, out of nowhere comes Disney with Marvel Rivals, which played just like the original one that everybody loved so much. So yeah, everybody switched over, and then Overwatch tried to bring back classic legacy, and it was too little too late. People were like, F you, Blizzard. You guys got too many problems anyway. So
it was just a different gameplay. They switched it up, and you guys didn't like the change, and then Rivals just came out, and then boom, all of a sudden everybody hopped.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like Blade's coming out too. About to drop
yes.
Blade?
Yes. I'm not worried about him right now. But yes, they've been talking about Blade for a while though. So I wasn't like as super stoked about Blade as I could have been, because again, they've been talking about him for a while. Same thing with Phoenix and Jean Grey. They've been talking about them for a while. So we know they're coming.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think the graphics look sick. I mean, that's the first thing that's always appealing for me is like, hey, how does it look? Obviously now graphics they're all about the same. I don't know how much better you can get, but I think the character models just look sick though, right? Because they're all big and buff, and I don't know, it looks right.
Oh yeah, I will definitely say the quote unquote skins and costumes, for lack of a better phrase, in there, combined with the graphics, do make this. It just kind of makes me laugh though, how they always talk about Disney did some of that on purpose, about how Disney did the thickness on some of the characters on purpose, because they know they want the, how do we say it in the cosplay world? They want that waifu audience.
What is waifu?
So waifu is basically a term of, this is basically my dream spouse. So you have waifu and then you have husbando, which interchangeable. Essentially, that's the male equivalent of the waifu. Yeah, so like you'll hear somebody who really, really loves a character be like, Miku Hatsune is my waifu, or yeah, Storm from Marvel Rivals is my waifu. Like if she were a person, that'd be my wife. That's my ideal. That's my waifu.
Okay.
What's the old school term equivalent to that?
Ooh.
Is it like?
I mean, I guess it'd essentially be the same as somebody talking about, that celebrity. I love them so much, they're my husband. It's basically that.
Okay. So it's just
like just a character crush. Deal.
Yes.
Nice. I appreciate that, B. Thanks for the lesson there.
Anytime.
Keeping us all with it.
We are being educated in real time.
For real. And then in other news, again, I feel like it's been a little bit light on the news, but Captain America: Brave New World, I mean, #1 at the box.
It is out.
Yeah, is it out? I remember one of the cosplay groups down here, they did a special preview of it where we got to see the movie early, but it's worth it.
It's good?
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, do not get me wrong. Coming off of the Marvel burnout, because I did stop watching Marvel movies for a while because it just felt like there was too much to keep up with, and everything was connected. So it's like it was worse than a soap opera where like you miss one movie, you're completely lost. Everybody's grown up. Everybody's married somebody else. Somebody's divorced over here. Somebody over here died, and then half the world disappears, all because you missed a movie. And now you're like, when did this happen?
Yeah.
But
And
getting back
I
to the
also
original.
think they. No, go ahead. I apologize. Go ahead.
No, because you're going to guide us back to the original subject because I completely went off on a tangent there. So go ahead.
Well, what I was going to say is what I really think is Marvel kind of divided a lot of the view base because there was a whole lot of the Marvel movies that are right here on the ground, Earth based, and that captured a lot of a certain type of audience. And then just like that, now you're in space for like 6 movies. So now they're capturing the sci-fi, Star Wars, Star Trek, everybody that likes sci-fi animation and all that kind of stuff. You're kind of bringing those hardcore space geeks straight into the fold, and that's a completely different audience than on the ground action people.
Okay, I accept
Those are 2 different types of movies, and you're linking them, right?
Yes.
So,
and again,
so,
like I said, that I felt like that was the issue, was you had all of these interconnected movies where, again, like a soap opera, if you miss one, and it wouldn't even be like Easter eggs, these would be like whole plot points that you would end up missing out on. And I couldn't take that anymore. So for a while, I just stopped watching Marvel movies. Like, just stop.
Not to mention the TV shows that you have to keep up with in between the movies.
Yes, that too. I could not do it. Truth be told, after WandaVision, I was like, nope, I'm good, I'm done. Okay, nope, y'all can have it. You have made your money off of me, Disney. I'm good.
I stopped at Agatha all along.
You are a much better soul than
I did not watch that. I think I purposefully did not watch that, and I'm probably going to end up going back, forcing myself to watch it to catch up to the introduction of any characters that come through in that show that are going to show up in the next series of whatever 6 movies Marvel decides to string together. Not to mention the new TV shows that are on the way. That were
Again, no.
We're all excited for Daredevil to come back.
Well, yes, because I freaking loved Daredevil.
Yeah, you did.
Already, no?
We all did.
I did.
It's something relatable, I think, when you're back on the ground level. Old-fashioned ass whoopings.
That's fair. Because I'm not even gonna lie. Like that first season of Daredevil, I'm not gonna lie. My favorite episode out of all of it, when he was doing that one fight, and you can tell like he's getting tired and stuff. He's throwing himself against the wall, trying to throw his punches at his enemies. That, to me, that was an unforgettable fight scene because of how realistic it felt.
He will not die. That's just pure refusal to go down. Exactly.
All
Batman,
right.
Old-fashioned ass whooping.
It's 30. We're trying to keep things, we keep it. We got a loose agenda here, but we try to stay on track. I think it's that time. We're going to bring in the one, the only, Mr. Tony Cade. Let's get him on here.
Hey,
how you guys doing today?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Fantastic.
Hello, Tony.
I feel neglected that I missed out on all the comic book movie talk. And here I am wearing my Falcon hoodie.
Man.
You know what's funny, Tony, is that's exactly what I was thinking. Like, I'm wondering what Tony's thinking about here. We need to, let him in on this. So what's your whole take here?
Well,
we're right here at the peak of it. We're ready for your opinion right now.
First of all, and stuff is like, okay, those of you who are complaining about the movies and everything being interconnected, are apparently not diehard comic book fans.
We established this,
That's
sir.
how it works. Okay, that's how they get you. It's like you go and you read one comic, and they give you a cliffhanger, so you got to read the other comic, and then you got your big crossover. And the first, all of the phase one was one gigantic crossover. So you had to watch everything together. And then all of the ones they're doing now are leading to the upcoming movies and then putting together a new Avengers scene. You know, that's why everything is interconnected.
Again, this is why I leave all the comic stuff to you, sir. All of it goes to you.
I will say I was super into it, like all the Avengers, Civil War, Infinity War. Like, man, it was crazy. But I think they had too much heat, where it was like kind of exhausting because it was like a 3-hour movie, and it's just like, again, I thoroughly enjoyed them. I thought they were great, good for comics, all that, but it was just like a lot too fast. Maybe that's just me. I don't know.
Well, also they had the problem of too much success, because once you create a movie that's up here, okay, everyone expects all the rest of the movies to be up here.
True.
How much bigger can we possibly get? It's the main question there at that point. After Endgame, how much bigger can we go? Or do we have to go?
We already had everybody's battling Thanos. Okay, what was going to surpass that? Especially when you have to start off a new storyline.
New characters, the actors getting old. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah,
they can't do it anymore. So
yeah, folks not coming back for certain characters, and you got to recast. Yeah.
You know, and I like to say and stuff. You know, you young folks are spoiled. You know, I'm a child of stuff that grew up in the 70s and 80s, and we had limited sci-fi to watch. You know, we basically, got to watch Linda Carter's Wonder Woman, Bill Mitchell's Incredible Hulk. Okay.
Amen.
All right.
Amen, brother.
That's all CJ right there.
Superhero stuff for us to watch. You know.
Oh, gee, for real.
American Hero.
You know.
Don't leave that out.
So much sci-fi and fantasy out there that even I can't watch it all. I'm like, I got to get what streaming to watch what? You know, it's so much stuff out there. So I'm from that generation of we were happy with whatever we can get. You know,
right?
I had to live with having 3 channels on the TV: ABC, NBC, and CBS. Y'all don't know the pain. Okay. You know, when
good times, man.
It was an Atari 2600, and you know how many buttons we had?
One.
We had to do it all with one button.
Joystick, baby, with the one. Yes, sir.
You can lean into it too. Trying to get what you needed.
You know what though? That just makes me feel nostalgic, man. Like, that was a little bit before my time, but I really do crave for like a more simpler time. Things just moving too fast right now, but that's a whole nother thing. I just had to throw that out there. So, all right. Well, Tony, thank you so much for joining us here today, man. It's really an honor to have you here. We got B, and she's, big up in you, telling about your OG. You go way back. You had your store. You were at all the conventions, and so honestly, man, we appreciate you making the time here, man. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Glad to be on.
Cool.
Like I said, another thing, you guys are doing podcasts. I'm so old that I had a public access TV show back in the day. Okay, and was going around to Dragon Con and stuff like that and interviewing people. So you guys are all with the new technology. Like I said, you guys are spoiled.
That's true.
I had to learn how to edit the program on 3/4 tapes, analog.
Dang. Okay. Analog. That sounds. I'm thinking digital.
Analog. What's a 3/4 tape?
They're working real.
That's a good question. What is it?
Working real, man.
Well, for back in that time period, you basically had 3 types of tapes. You had your VHS, you had your beta, and your 3/4 tape. Your 3/4 tape is what was usually used for broadcast news and programs. And, sometimes the stuff, they film stuff with beta and then upgrade it to 3/4 tape. VHS is basically what people used at home because that was like the #1 format for porno movies.
I feel like porno movies has moved technology a lot further than we like to admit. No, I'm serious. Like, you kind of think about it. I mean, when you think about it, though, the internet itself really didn't become the internet until accessibility to porn happened. And I don't know. In my personal opinion, I feel like the internet really blew up from there once people realized that, oh, I can access so much.
And they say sex sells.
Yes, it does.
And advances society, apparently.
You're right. And making money pushes technology. I always tell people and stuff, it's like, used to watch old shows like Space 1999, when we supposedly had a base on the moon and all this other kind of stuff, when we were colonizing space. And you know why none of that stuff has happened? Because there's no money in it. As soon as somebody figures out how to make money by going to space, we'll be there.
Yeah.
There's no money.
I don't know. Do we really want to test that theory right now, considering we already got people building their own private space programs?
Oh, they can do that because they got the money to kill. But how are they going to make money? How are they going to recoup their money?
Have you ever played Outer Worlds?
No, I haven't played it.
Outer Worlds is a very good example of that. Outer Worlds is a very, very good example of that. Even if you look at the show on on Amazon, where they have that preview for the next Outer Worlds, it's a very good example of what a privately owned space program is probably going to look like.
Right, but like I said, where's the money? Like I said, man went
We
to
labor
back in the 70s, and we got on the moon. It's like, are we mining anything on the moon and bringing it back here for profit? No. Because there's no profit in it. If there was profit, we would have been up there with moon bases.
That's also true. I'll let you have that.
There's got to be something to discover up there.
All right, think about it. Colonialization basically happened because of money and profit. Okay, you went out and explored, the new world to try to get better trade routes so you can make money. You go over to another nation, you steal their natural resources for money. All right, we will go when there's money, which is kind of sad, but that's the way things work. Like I said, what is it? You got shows like Sea Lab 2020. If there was money for us to make at the bottom of the ocean profitable, we'd be there.
That was a good show. I miss old Adult Swim.
Well, I'm talking about the TV show, cartoon, before the comedy on Adult Swim.
Sea Lab 2020?
Yep.
Yeah. Very,
like I said,
very.
I'm from that generation.
If I could describe, very, very Johnny Quest-ish.
Oh.
Yeah, Johnny Quest, the good stuff. Even when I was a kid, I liked the more serious, animated TV show.
All right, here. I'm right behind you, brother.
For some reason, I thought you meant 2020, like it was from 4 years ago. But my bad. That's me.
Well, see, think about it. It's like we got these shows like Sea Lab 2020, Space 1999, predicting where we're going to be in the future, and we ain't did none of that stuff. Why? Because there's no money in it.
No money in it.
That's a really interesting point. I mean, I guess that's a very
no
strong
product,
motivation, for sure.
It's not real estate yet. It's not. Yeah, there's nothing to develop, and those at this point in time right now. Yeah.
So Tony,
yeah,
I hate to sidetrack this. So then, what's motivating someone like you, someone who's been in the game for a minute, right? You got your own comic book, you got your own like publishing, like media company, right? You're doing a lot. So like, what's motivating you then?
Basically, what motivates me is community. Like I said, I've been, involved with Atlanta fandom, since the late 80s, when I first started going to the Atlanta Fantasy Fair. And like I said, as Stephanie had pointed out before, I couldn't afford the membership, but luckily at that time I got into photography, so I was able to get on staff as a staff photographer. Which was really great. And back then there was no digital; we were doing film. Okay, so we had to buy that film, shoot the convention, then process all that stuff. But like I said, it gave me great access because as a staff photographer, I could attend like whatever panels I wanted to, go to the front row, hang out backstage with the guests, go to the VIP rooms, so it was definitely, the staff position to have.
That sounds so cool. Does anyone really stand out in terms of like someone you met, maybe an artist or someone local?
Well, like I said, back when I had the Community Access TV show, I actually interviewed Nichelle Nichols back when she was talking about doing her one-woman show. I don't know if you guys even remember him, Jonathan Harris from the original Lost in Space, Dr. Smith. Okay, he's been on he was on my show. I interviewed Eastman and Laird, the creators of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Wow.
We had Dave Cockrum, one of the major, people behind the X-Men, was on my show. So, being involved, with video and photography gave me access to a lot of people.
Wow, that's so cool.
That's dope.
Like I said, a lot of people and stuff that I, interviewed and stuff, and I was fanboying over, unfortunately, no longer even with us anymore.
Oh.
What I always tell everybody is that one of my weirdest interactions with George Takei, Sulu, and it actually took place in the restroom at Dragon Con. I'm sitting there, standing at the stall, and I kind of like look over, and George is right there next to me in the next stall, and we basically are sitting there having a conversation, while we're relieving ourselves. So I always tell everybody I had a special, restroom, relationship with George. Oh my.
You guys connected.
And strangely enough, all I did was like talk to him and stuff about how funny I thought he was on the William Shatner roast. Because he had done that like a few months beforehand.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Okay, so it's right around there.
And the coolest times and stuff to like hang out with a lot of the guests or meet the guests aren't when they're like in Artist Alley or even after the panels. It's catching them like after hours, like on the elevators or walking through the hall or like hanging out with people in the bar. And it's like a lot of times you walk up, offer to get them drinks, you sit down, and you've got their attention for hours.
I love that.
They tell you all kind of interesting stories.
I'm wondering if we got time. You got any juicy stories you want to share?
No. I've got some juicy stories, but I'm not sure.
Disappointing.
All right. Well, why don't we switch gears? What's up?
I said the code of silence.
Yeah, I respect that. Talk to us about Fox Chronicles.
Oh, okay. Well, Fox Chronicles and stuff is one of the indie comics and stuff I'm working on right now. It was a oh, you got images. Okay, cool. Yeah, this is the Fox Chronicles. This is the first issue, and I worked on it with Robert Jeffrey, who has worked with me on many projects and stuff when we were both with Terminus Media, and we were doing projects for the CDC, which we did a motion comic for.
Cool.
And basically, it's it takes place in Atlanta in a not too distant future, but it's basically a story that even though there's plenty of action and there's sci-fi and stuff going on, we're dealing with one of the major problems and stuff in this country, and even here in Atlanta, which is child trafficking. One of the things and stuff we learned and stuff when I was working with the CDC, and to them, they actually had it on their scope as like an epidemic. You think of the CDC and you're thinking diseases, but they do so much more. And I wanted to do a project with them about it after we did our project with HIV and AIDS awareness. But we weren't able to continue our relationship with the CDC. So I decided and stuff that I was gonna, work on it and tell a story myself. Because to me, that's the whole thing of storytelling, is that you want to entertain, but you also want to bestow some knowledge. What they call it, edutainment. And I like the whole thing and stuff of teaching somebody something without hammering them over the head with it, and actually like let them, learn from the story that we're telling. To me, that's what, the folklores are, parts of different religious, books. It's basically giving knowledge to you on how to survive and how you should act. And to me, that's, one of the main purposes of storytelling.
I'm so happy you brought that up, because that was really one of the things I wanted to ask, because I'm reading through this. It's reading like a comic. It's a good read, great artwork, really solid comic. And then when I got to the part, again, I don't want to spoil it, but I got to the one part towards the end where they're like getting into a house, right? And they're like, there's detectives or police there, and they got certain leads, and then they're saving girls, right? And so I wanted to specifically ask, like, man, so is there a deeper message here? What's going on? So I'm so happy you said that.
Oh yeah. Well, like I said, there's more stuff coming. There's definitely more stuff coming. Actually, issue 2, all of the illustrations and the colors are already done. They just need to be at this point lettered, and we're basically finished with the book. The only reason and stuff I haven't done or launched a Kickstarter for it yet is that most of my bandwidth, and I've only got a certain amount of bandwidth, is dealing with the shop and also the Atlanta Sci-Fi Fantasy Expo.
Yes. Please tell us more about that. Let me pull that up right here. That's coming up in March, right?
Yeah, March 15th and 16th. It's going to be right here at North Lake Mall. And we're also going to be having activities over at the North Lake Doubletree Hilton.
What kind of activities?
I'm so glad you asked that. That would be my department, the Interdimensional Ball. So this is going to be our first ball involved, and it's space themed, hence the interdimensional. There will be food, there will be live entertainment, there will be a live DJ, there will be dancing. Food is mostly for VIP, so please do not starve with the peasants, because the food for the peasants is first come, first serve, and VIP is already about halfway sold out.
Okay, you heard that. Everyone got to hop on that VIP for sure.
Yes, please don't starve with the peasants.
If you want to eat, you got to go VIP. Nice. And then where do they get tickets? They just get tickets online?
Yes, so the website that you are currently on, you can go there. If you scroll, there you go, scroll right there to reserve your tickets where it says to step into the extraordinary. And that will show you our tickets along with our VIP special and our couple special right now that will be running until the end of next week. And then tickets will go back up to regular price.
Nice. All right. So everybody got to hop on these tickets now. Hop on one of these couple tickets. Bring your waifu or your husbando.
Husbando.
Okay.
Husbando.
There you go.
Waifu and husbando.
Or your homie, your road dog, your day one, whatever. Just,
yes. Also, I might add, it might be best also if you get a room at the hotel. So that way, once you're done dancing and drinking, because there is also a cash bar, no free drinks, but it is a cash bar. So just in case you don't feel like stumbling to your car or having to call Safe Ride America to drive you home, you can stumble back to your room on the first floor and enjoy your night there. And then have breakfast in the morning, because the hotel comes with free breakfast.
Oh, and that free breakfast is for everybody that you say is in the room. So the rooms that we have blocked are double queens and double kings. So if you say that there's 4 people in the room, all 4 of you get breakfast.
Wow.
So, hey, for $40, you get to stay at a Hilton hotel and get a free breakfast. Sounds like a great deal to me.
Yeah, you can't really beat that.
Just saying.
Amazing deal for
Oh,
sure.
and if you get a room, you get general admission to the ball.
For free.
Wow.
The whole purpose of the expo is, basically so people don't have the problem that I had with attending conventions. All right, you've got like limited budgets, going to something like a Dragon Con's gonna cost you a minimum of $150, just to go, less than all your other expenses. But with our expo, you can come for free. All right, there's gonna be like 50 plus vendors is what we usually do. We're gonna have probably over 40 hours worth of programming. We're gonna have a fashion show. We're gonna have a costume contest. There's gonna be workshops, on different things, from jewelry making to working on your Gundams to doing stuff with Legos. There's gonna be voice actors there, and you're gonna be able to learn from them how to get into the whole voice acting field. So it's basically all the stuff that you could get from a bigger convention for a fraction of the cost. Oh, and if you want to come in for the show, okay, vending for the show for the 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, is only $125. And again, if you vend, you get into the cosplay ball general admission for free.
Wow.
Is
Okay.
Is the expo once a year, or how many times a year do you guys do this?
Well, we were actually doing it once a year over at North DeKalb Mall. Okay. Unfortunately, the last show that we tried to do was basically the week that COVID hit.
Oh.
So basically, COVID hit like that March 7th, and our expo was like that March 14th. And at the time and stuff, we didn't know how bad COVID was going to be. But because I worked with the CDC, Center for Disease Control, before, we actually had advisors and people on staff that were basically like, yeah, Tony, you can't do the con. I'm sure if we had done the con, people would have showed up for the con. But I wouldn't have wanted, the deaths of anybody on my conscience, because I was determined to still do a con.
Yes, that, and we also don't want that intermingling with con crud that naturally occurs with any event.
Yeah. And so we originally thought, we're like, oh, well, we'll just postpone the event till later in the year in the winter. It'll be over with by then. And then we all know, like 4 years later, it still wasn't quite over.
Right.
And by that time, the mall that I was in had completely shut down their interior.
Oh my God.
And they had already started the process of finding a new buyer. So basically they could redevelop and, they said they're going to redevelop, but most of the time that just means that, yeah, we're going to put up apartments because we can charge somebody $2,000, $3,000 a month for a 2-bedroom apartment.
You know it.
Yeah. That pandemic was rough for a lot of small businesses. No matter where you were, no matter where you are in the country, I'm sure, we've all felt it.
Yeah. The only reason I was able to survive is that, by that point and stuff, we had diversified so much that we already had our website and everything ready to go. And we had like Gundam model kits and Warhammer kits and paint and everything else. All the stuff that people would love to work with because they're in lockdown. And we basically set it up and stuff where people could still order from us. And we'd either ship it to them, or we actually had Uber drivers who would come by the store and we give them the packages and they deliver them for us.
Wow. That is super savvy.
Yeah, I can attest to that. I bought many a Warhammer set from him during this time.
When I think about things, it's it's just finding a solution. You're gonna get a no, and you just still find a detour and try to get around and still get to that end result.
Well, yeah, fortunately for me and stuff, it's like I have one of those problem-solving brains. I've been like playing chess competitively since I was like 9 years old. So, it's the whole thing and stuff is like, trying to think, a move ahead. Mm-hmm. And, just don't get yourself, put into a corner.
Yeah. So, if you don't mind me asking, and this is switching gears a little bit here, Tony. So then what's next for you, right? You're doing all these big things. You're building up community. You're letting everyone shine. You know, what's the next thing you're trying to do?
Is there a next thing? I think I'm doing a lot already. Like I said, I've got limited, bandwidth. It's,
sure.
Like I said, what is it and stuff to do? Like I said, we've been in this location for like the last year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
We were at the previous mall for 10 years, and I've been in this business now for like 30 years. We started off in like 1994.
Wow.
So it's like, during that time period and stuff, I've got customers who started off with me as like teenagers, and now they're like, 40-some-year-old men, and they're coming into the stores, with their kids, getting them hooked on the stuff that they got hooked on, when they were kids. And it's like, oh yeah, this is Mr. Tony. He's the one that kept me off the streets, because like I said, I've always got a good feeling about trying to do stuff for the community. Even with me getting into like indie comic creation, that started off with, we had art classes in the store. All right. And we also had a screenwriters group in the store. And I was like, well, the screenwriters, they don't have the money to do any movies. Okay. You got the comic book guys here, and they're doing all these drawings, but they have nothing to do with them. So why don't I get them together and see what we can do? And that's how we started doing the anthology comic books. So it gave outlets for the writers, to be creative and tell their stories. And then that provided the artists with actual stories that they could draw on. And, it just, I feel good because a lot of the people and stuff that I worked with in the past have gone on to work for Marvel and DC and video game companies. But they all started off from basically that whole thing of like, there was a screenwriters group and there was an art class, and we got the people together, and then that helped them further their careers. I'm hoping one day and stuff, is like my dream is that one of them and stuff is going to get out there and like, be up for an Oscar, and I can actually go to one of these Oscar awards, wear a tux. I don't want much, I just want to go to the Oscars.
That's huge. Maybe they need photographers. Yeah.
I don't even get a chance to do any photography anymore. Like I said, there's so much other stuff, that I'm doing. And I think like the last decent photo session I did was, I think it was with Stephanie, when we were doing some stuff for
the Urban Nerd Con, when I premiered Carnival Poison Ivy. You're right.
So like I said, that was the last time I actually got to, whip out the camera and, do any fun photography.
Sorry, I have to let you be great and do other things. I can't exclusively have you as my photographer anymore. I'm sorry.
Well, hey, I was extremely happy and stuff when the pictures, though, got to be in that magazine that you were in.
Ah, yes. Creative Cosplays.
Wow.
So like I said, yes, I'm a published photographer, but only because I was lucky enough to photograph her.
I have nothing that special. Just a regular run-of-the-mill award-winning cosplayer. That's all.
hey, just divine connections. That's all.
Everything happens for a reason, for real. It's cliche, but it's
right.
It's real.
Cool. I always tell everybody and stuff. It's like the stuff I do is not me. I just happen to be lucky enough to know a lot of creative, talented people.
Like mine, think alike.
Everybody is in need of a connector, right? Everybody knows that one person that just knows everybody and who just brings vibes and energies together. Like, we're all looking for that for sure. Sounds like that's you, Tony.
I've been around long enough, so I can see that. Yeah.
And quit playing, man. You look too young, man. Come on.
Oh, why? Thank you.
Looking good, man.
It's that melanin. Melanin helps. As I can see, everybody in this room right here understands that.
Yes, sir.
Nobody probably looks their age.
I get that too. Asian don't raisin, it's all good.
Like I said, I said, I hope I don't get canceled here, but it's like one of the things and stuff is like, with Asian women to me look young like forever, and then all of a sudden they're old.
Yeah.
There is no transition. It's like young and beautiful, wise woman. It's like, wait a minute. There is no in between.
Dude, have y'all seen Vera Wang? You guys know Vera Wang? Wow.
Yes.
She's like 70. Again, she's around 60, 70. From the back, she's looking like 30. It's crazy. Long black hair. She got her heels on, her gown. It's nuts.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right.
Michelle Yeoh.
Oh, cool. Michelle, that's a crush I've had for a long time.
She's still looking young. Still doing big things.
She's come up a lot the last few years.
Yeah. She's in the new Star Trek.
Oh yeah.
She's the star of the new Star Trek.
Yeah, which was gonna be a series.
It's out on Paramount.
She wins an Academy Award and they can't afford her anymore. So they went ahead and stuff and just did that one movie, and it was called Section 31, and they're supposed to be like the CIA of Starfleet. But then I'm like, well, wait a minute. They didn't do anything that regular Starfleet people wouldn't have done. Where's all the underhanded backstabbing? It's like it wasn't there. So, like I said, even though I enjoyed, Michelle, the story was like, I think y'all missing the mark here. And then you actually have her doing martial arts, which we didn't really get the chance to see her do in Discovery.
Yeah.
And then you're doing this camera work where it's all up close, and you don't get the majesty that is Michelle Yeoh. It's like you were shooting a Steven Seagal where he's doing all his martial arts with his hands. It's like, no, the director missed the mark so badly.
That'll do it. You don't get those visuals right, man. It's over.
It's hard to stay aligned and put out quality, right? One thing's off, out the door.
Well, it's the producers. They got to make sure that when they pick a director, you talk to the director and you ask the director what your vision is and how you're going to do stuff. Okay, if it doesn't fit, you don't do it. It's like in sports. It's like, the coach tells the general manager how he wants to run the team and what kind of plays that he wants to run. It's up to the general manager to make sure he has the players to make sure that can happen. Same thing when you're doing TV shows and movies. Okay? If you know that you want a TV show or a movie to be a certain way, you need to hire the director that's going to do it that way.
Going to get that vision out. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, know your personnel.
There's a reason and stuff that the Russo brothers Marvel stuff is like better than some of the other people's stuff.
Yeah.
Because they understand action.
Yeah. It's a reason why they can elevate and fight to the top, because he knows how to pick them. So like he knows how to draft a great team here when it comes to to sticking to, I think, as close to comic book accuracy as we've seen so far.
Oh yeah, and that's to me one of the greatest things and stuff. Yeah, Kevin has done with the Marvel movies is that even though they're making movies and some stuff they've got to play kind of loose with, they still try to stick with the spirit of the comics and bring in stuff from the comics. Like, I haven't seen it yet, but the new Captain America. Okay. Yeah. Sam, has a suit that was given to him by Wakanda. Okay. That's from the comic books. The whole harness, flying harness thing originally came from Wakanda. So it's great when they actually take stuff from the comics. when Fox was doing X-Men movies, they would pick the cool titles of popular X-Men stories, but then not follow the stories, which was so aggravating.
Was this like the classic
Or
ones,
the,
the old,
or the aesthetics.
Yeah, or their aesthetics. You know,
Yeah.
and it was like one of the things that's like really, you know, aggravating is like, especially somebody who comes from the comic book reading storyline, and I know what these storylines are supposed to be, and then you go and see them in the movies, and they're like, the director didn't pay attention to the storyline that the movie is named after.
Or to save face for the lack of creativity, you try to just do something that you think can pass off as cool, which is where I think the black leather came from, right? They just figured leather would still look cool if they just went with that. Fail.
Well, they thought it would look better than hokey costumes, but now Marvel is doing the costumes, and they look great. So they
look
that they can look good on screen.
They look fantastic.
You know, but then again, they did the leather in the movies, and so to try to get people who went to the movies to read the comic books, for a while the X-Men were all wearing leather in the comic books.
Yep, I remember that. I remember that phase.
At all.
Yeah, it was a phase for a while where everything was follow the movie script instead of stick to the comic book. Yeah. Yeah, no, that was a mistake.
Especially when the comic stories are better.
I'm so glad we're back. Yeah, and I think now it's because guys like you and us are the ones running the show. These guys aren't that far ahead of us in age, if they are at all. Some of them are younger than us. They are our generation are the ones that are actually running the show now. And yeah, that's where you're getting where that no, we don't have to shortcut on the comic book accuracy.
But you can tell that they've read the source material.
Yeah, exactly. They're true comic book kids growing up.
Right.
I think if anything, I mean, especially with the new Marvel coming out, all the TV shows, I think I can personally say that I had, that little break helped. And now we can segue into this new storyline. I think it's Secret Wars or Avengers Secret Wars, and you mentioned Star Trek. So there's just a lot of new stuff. You got Marvel Rivals. There's just a lot to be excited for. And then, of course, next month you got Atlanta Sci-Fi Expo, right? So again, I put the link in the comments. So if anybody's catching this now or after, definitely check it out. Pick up a VIP ticket if you want food. There's going to be a bar, and then of course get a hotel room, right, for the best deal. So VIP hotel room is going to be, voice actors. It's going to be a ton of vendors, a lot of fun, a lot of content. So if you're in Atlanta,
we got actors and stuff like Tempo Thomas is coming, and you guys might recognize her and stuff from Hawkeye, and she was in Black Lightning, and she's been on a lot of different films. Plus she actually produces and creates her own products. Wow. So we've got people coming. We still got people who are asking us, can they come? I keep telling them, it's like, we're free to the public, so we're not bringing in a lot of cash. So we can't give you any, we can't fly you in first class and guarantee you're going to make $3,000. If you want to come on down and hang with us and have fun, we'll give you a table. We'll let you in the ball for free.
Not even feed you.
Yeah, we'll feed you, But as far as you making money, you got to do that yourself.
All right.
Bring your merch.
But like I said, and like I said, you come to the expo. The expo is free. Bring some money with you, even though the expo is free, because we got all these vendors, and we want to make those vendors happy. Go buy some books, go buy some art, go buy some jewelry, support the vendors.
Yeah, support the cause. support the
Right.
cause.
And then, like
Absolutely.
I said, if you want to know what it takes to be an author, hit those author panels. If you want to know how to be a comic book artist, and work for Marvel or DC, hit those panels. We've even got STEAM events going on. We're actually working with Emory and their Science and Art Museum. And we're going to have STEAM programming and award shows. So whether you're into like comics, cosplay, animation, we've got something there for everybody.
Yes, sir. All right. So again, it's great having you. Please come back. We'd love to have you on again. And of course, you also have your website, right? Challengesgames.com, right?
Yeah. Challengesgames.com. And the expo is AtlantaSci-FiExpo.com. And like I said, you come on in, I'll talk sci-fi with you. I'll talk card games, board games, whatever you want to talk about. We're a very diverse store. We got a little bit of everything for everybody. And if you want to talk sports, I'm a versatile nerd. Okay. So
that's my guy.
Dubs.
Home team, baby.
All day. All right. Cool.
Well, hey, Stephanie, am I missing anything important about the ball or anything?
Oh, actually, there is one important thing. So, the Intergalactic Orbital Council that is supposed to be hosting this ball actually need a new king and queen. So we ask anyone that is coming to the ball to be dressed in your best semi-formal cosplay or outfit to see if you have a chance to be crowned king or queen. And if you're general admission, you get upgraded to VIP if you win. So you can guaranteed eat and you don't have to starve.
With the peasants.
And even after the ball, we've got an after party after the ball. So, yes, we're going to be partying all night long.
Y'all going to be partying all night long. I'm going to be in bed by midnight. Otherwise, I'm not going to get up.
But see, you got a room, though. So, you got it set. And like I said, definitely for cosplayers, you definitely want to get a room because we know you're going to want to change costumes multiple times through the show. Because you got to have your walking around costume. You got to have your costume for the costume contest, your costume for the staircase photo shoots we got going on. So you know how they do like the staircase photo shoots at the Hilton at least the Hyatt, sorry, at the Hyatt for Dragon Con. We've got a staircase like that here, which is lit and it's indoors. So we're going to be doing some awesome photo shoots, some different and some diverse photo shoots.
Sounds like it's gonna be a lot of fun, man. If I was in Georgia, if I was in the area, I would be there 100%.
Where are you based out of?
I'm in Northern California.
Northern California? Yeah, that's a little far away.
Yeah.
Just tad. Unless it's a lot of expense to go to something free.
Well, like I said, at least if you're in Southern California, you just go ahead and just take I-10 to I-20 and ride on into Atlanta,
Wow. I wonder how long that drive is.
Took me 3 days the one time I did it.
I was gonna say 3 days. 3 days.
It took me 3 days.
How many times you stopped?
You
twice. Stopped in New Orleans though, didn't you?
Yes, I did because there was a 24-hour daiquiri place that I know of I refused to not go by if I was coming through that state. You are correct, sir.
You kind of have to
stop when you go through Texas. But yeah, you probably want to stop when you get, over there by New Orleans. Take your little break.
Yes.
Get something.
I need some beignets.
Go to Cafe Du Monde, get some beignets. Yeah. Yeah. Tip the little silver kids with Dr. Pocket.
Go ahead and get you a drive-through daiquiri, if you're of age.
Yeah, grenades for everybody.
All right. Well, again, it's great having the both of you guys on. Thank you for joining us here. Thanks for sharing a little bit more about, your history, the show, the event, everything you're doing. Absolutely love it. Definitely, you got supporters from us over here. We love how you're building community, bringing diversity, different voices. And then also, sharing a solid message, right? You're trying to educate folks, make sure that we can all be better every single day. So, and like you said, I think that's a definition of a strong storyline. And so everybody support Tony. Check out his comics. Go to the expo. We got to support everyone.
Atlanta Sci-Fi and Fantasy Expo, March 15th and 16th, North Lake Mall.
Definitely.
All right.
Well, thanks for having me on, guys. You have a good one.
Yes, thank you so much for having us.
For sure.
Blessings. Thank you.
All right. See you guys. All right. Whew, that went a little long. I'm getting hot and sweaty up here.
We off the air?
Almost. Got to do. You know how we wrap the shows. Got to, shed some light on TMH. Hit up this Spotify podcast.
Oh crap! I'm looking at the time that we've been on, thinking we're running ourselves out of time. I didn't even think about that, and that's the whole purpose for why we're here. This is all about TMH Comics.
But just like what Tony's doing, man, we're helping, right? We're in the community. We're building too, trying to put some shine on some other folks. And man, Tony, he's doing his thing. Like, I'm not playing. If I was in that area, I'd be there for sure. You was selling that hard.
Big boy. Hey, we're gonna get you down here. We're gonna get you down here. You're part of the team, so it wouldn't even be right for us to go along and not figure out a way to get you down here to take in a lot of the things that we plan on taking in together. We're gonna find a way, and we're gonna get out there. We got to make waves out there on your coast.
Heck yeah. You guys are welcome here anytime. So, all right. So for today, we got something really exciting. We got Cosmic Odyssey. So let me cue this thing up. Terrence, anything you want to drop about Cosmic Odyssey before we play a little snippet?
Not too much, but this is just a part of the TMH Comics brand, and it's a coming of age story for one of the main characters, Jason George, and it just talks about his adventures with the crew, with the team that he meets up with, and a couple of those characters are also a part of those books that we do have up on Amazon, as well as TMH Comics, and also as well as Amazon. So you can also find those books over there. So definitely.
Awesome. Check it out, y'all. All right, so we're gonna.
All right, welcome everyone to another deep dive.
Yeah.
So this time we're looking at a single chapter from a novel.
Right.
And this one is about a superhero team.
Interesting.
And it takes place in a fictional world.
Right.
Like a whole universe they've built up.
Yeah.
So
sounds fun.
We're just going to look at this chapter and see if we can pull out.
Oh, okay.
What are some of the themes? What are some of the interesting character dynamics? What can we learn about the world from just this little slice?
Yeah, like a little keyhole.
Yeah, exactly.
Into a whole universe.
So let's jump in.
All right.
So the main character in this chapter is Jason George.
Jason George.
And he's 18 years old.
Oh, wow. So he's young.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's young. And he's got these cool abilities.
Okay.
He can fly.
Right.
He's got enhanced vision. And he's also got accelerated healing.
Oh, wow. Like a superhero.
Yeah. He's like a Superman type character.
I see.
But his mom was from a planet called Alterian.
Alterian.
And that's where he got these powers.
Oh, interesting. So it's like an inherited thing?
Yeah. It's like in his genes. And he also carries around this Alterian artifact.
An artifact.
Yeah, it's like a memento of his mom.
Oh, it's kind of sad.
Yeah.
But also cool, like a connection.
It's like a connection.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is that his heritage doesn't just give him powers.
Oh.
It also gives him this sense of responsibility.
Oh, I see.
Like
he's a burden.
Yeah, like he's got the weight of the universe on his shoulders. But luckily he's got a whole team to help him out.
A team. Okay.
Yeah, there's
So like a superhero team.
yeah, a whole superhero team.
Right.
So there's Frank Johnson,
Frank Johnson.
and his code name is Fuel.
Fuel.
Yeah, because he can control fire.
That's awesome. Right.
And then there's Alan Williams, aka Ionic.
Ion. What can you do?
He can manipulate particles,
Whoa.
like the building blocks of matter.
That's pretty powerful.
Yeah, he can like rearrange stuff.
Wow.
At a molecular level.
Okay. So we've got fire and particles.
Yeah.
What else?
And then there's Sylvia Jones.
Sylvia Jones.
She's a weapons expert.
Okay.
But she can also move super fast.
So like a speedster?
Yeah, like super speeder.
Yeah, gotcha.
And then we have Danica Lee.
Danica Lee.
She's a martial arts prodigy.
Okay, so like hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, she's like the
fighter.
The fighter of the group.
Pretty cool.
And then of course, no superhero team would be complete without a tech genius.
Right.
And that's where Jessica Jennings comes in.
Okay, so they've got all the bases covered.
Yeah, they got like a really diverse
yeah
team with all sorts of different powers.
I like that.
Yeah.
And it's cool how like
had to cut it right there. Wow. What y'all think? Any thoughts?
Man, I was getting into it. I was just like, where to go? Where to go?
You know me, man. Had to tease it out.
Absolutely.
But you
You
heard
gotta go
Terry.
read it for themselves. You gotta go listen for yourself. Get the book.
Exactly. Amazon. Where else?
Amazon.com. That's where it is. Absolutely.
TMH Comics, Terrence Hancock. Go pick that up.
Do not miss out on this cosmic odyssey.
All right. Well, it's another one. Guys, I thought this was a really good show.
Yeah, that was great. That interview was fantastic. I think we got a lot in this episode as far as like you said, what Tony was talking about as far as community. I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do about showing up at the Sci-Fi Expo that is basically right in our area, right in our county, North Lake Malls, Tucker, Georgia, right? Literally anybody in the Atlanta metro area knows where this place is, right? That's one of the good things about it. And the DoubleTree Hilton, that's pretty much, is it even a half a mile away from the mall? And that's basically right there on the highway access for anybody out there watching and listening that actually wants to know. That's going to be at 285 in La Vista Road. Real quick and easy. Right there, 285 in La Vista Road. You get off right there, and you've got the hotel and you've got the mall. March 15th and 16th. All right, TMH Comics needs to definitely make our appearance there.
100%. Someone need to go and document it. Maybe interview some folks. See what's going down. See what's on people's minds.
Yeah, we got to figure out a way to get the video on set down there, and maybe find a way to get some. We've got to get some portable equipment. Maybe find a way to get some microphones to travel with, and take that. It's time to take the show on the road, man. We can't miss out on that.
That's you, Spec.
Yeah.
There you are. Bro, you've been on mute the whole time, man.
I'm a music dude, bro. The comic book thing, I like going to see Marvel, and I'm listening to the music in the background. I just love when they flying through the air. You hear all that shit, and you hear shit in every speaker. So I kind of be quiet when it comes to when you dwelling into them characters. I'm not that deep into that. My apologies.
It's all good, baby. No need to apologize, man.
Yeah.
I'm just messing with you, man.
Yeah. But definitely to get down and you need to reach back out to him and ask him about the about media passes. to get in, and and really interview a lot of people. How can that happen? If that's possible, and you get clearance to everything, because the guy, we know the people, so that might be a good thing to try to look out for.
Yeah, March 15th, March 16th. All right. Well, seems like we went a little bit over, but again, great show. Any final words from anybody before we hop out of here? We all good?
See you next week.
Exactly. Boom. All right, everyone. See you guys.
Sure.
Good one.